Okay, boom. So today is the 1st of December. It's my birthday month. Didn't take no trades. Just because with the strategy, right? The CCT. I'm not entirely. I just realized yesterday. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to execute on this right after the weekend because let's have a look. Let's have a look. When did this trade present itself? Okay. So this trade presented itself at 6 a.m. Now, I was asleep and I definitely did not hear my alert at this time. But what I did was when I woke up at like 9. So when it was like around there, I didn't place the trade. I just put this here as like a forward testing thing. So literally like I woke up at 9 and it was there. So literally, so let me show you why I would have got this if I was awake and I saw this, right? So let me go back. So once again, if you want to know what the strategy is, go check out Cramson's videos. He does a daily one. I won't be surprised if this is the one that he caught today because it was the most obvious one. But once again, the strategy is basically this, right? You I had so on Friday it broke above this range, so you draw this line here, and all you're waiting for is for it to come tap and close on the 15-minute below this line, and then close back above on the 15-minute. And then also you can enter off a inverted fair value gap. Now let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, right? So this is, I'm not gonna lie, the weekend kind of messes me up. This here is why I was confused because I didn't know if it goes into the zone. Are you supposed? Hold on, I'm not even on the right bar. So so let me show you from here. Right, Friday. This is what I need to clarify still on, right? Where on Sunday, if you're supposed to still take these trades, which I'm guessing you are supposed to. So just moving on from next week, I'll be ready, and if any trade presents itself on the Sunday, then I'll take it. But basically, all we're waiting for is on. So you've drawn out the level on the daily. You set the alert, and if you have trading view essential, which is the lowest tier, which is the one I have, just set it to once per bar close, just because you don't want to get an alert when it's only just pinned into it and then it closes. It doesn't even close underneath it because you have to set another one and then it can just touch it again, then go. So what I like to do is closing below, and then you just click on this one so that when it closes you get the alert and then you save it. So what we're waiting for here is literally for price to come, not just tap it, but close below this level. Obviously, this is the weekly one, so we're not focusing too much on the weekly. We'll focus on the daily, right? So waiting for it to get somewhere in here, close below it, right? It could be here, it could be there, it could be there, it could be there, as long as it closes below. And then once that happens, this is what we're looking for. We're gonna wait for it to do something like this, right? Break out and close above the level, and then you're gonna enter here and then put your stops below here. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. I know this looks like hindsight, but I still want to make this video just to show what the type of setups I will be taking looks like, right? So watch. So this is Sunday now, right? I had a little gap down. Now I want to be very clear because I think some people might get tricked out on this. You do not enter on this. Why? Because it did not close below the level. It just wicked into it, right? So you don't enter, and even if you had entered, it would have been terrible with risk to reward because your stop would need to be there, and then so it would have been 1.5, which you don't want to enter unless it's a 1 point, unless it's a 1-to-1, bare minimum, right? So we're still watching it. So it pins it there, still waiting for it to close below, so you know entry, and you can see how it could be. I'm still not a expert on liquidity, but you can see how this, right, it could just be like grabbing liquidity here because people will be buying, and you know you'd make low profit and stuff, but what we're waiting for is it to actually close below, right? So we're still not entering. It's teasing us. It's getting close, but hasn't closed. So boom, there it is. There it is. There it is here, right? So it finally closes below. Now what we do is we get the box, right? Box, and then we're just gonna wait for it to close above the box. Now I'm still yet to learn more about the inverted fair value gap entry. If I'm not mistaken, and I might be wrong for this, so just like disclaimer, it's like you enter after it's past here, but of course the better entry would be for this box here, so I'm not gonna consider that one. All right, so boom. Okay, perfect. The very next candle here. So what we do is grab this, buy, and then we take this and we put it, give it a couple pips like that, and then we are aiming for this liquidity right there, right? Of course we already know it hit it, but let's wait, let me go slow. So boom, boom. Now at this point, once it's hit like these highs, I think it's reasonable to put your stop loss into break even. I've seen it sometimes where even price would get really close to TP here and then go back to break even, and then even like maybe halfway through and then spike up to TP. As I get more experience, I'm going to see how I want to play with that, but especially while trying to pass the challenge, I want to make sure that I can pass. So I'll see. But I think it would be reasonable to put your stop loss at break even, and maybe it scares you a little bit because it gets quite close. Kind of consolidates for a little bit, gets kind of close again, and then boom. Soon as New York opened, literally the candle before New York opened, it spiked up, and yeah, that would have been a crazy trade. A 3%, a 3R, 3.4R, beautiful. We missed it, but that's our strategy. And I'll just be looking out for that. Moving on, and then also the first one that I saw was actually NAS USD, which is the same principle. Now, I wouldn't have taken this just because the risk to reward is pretty bad. But let me just explain why I would have taken this. I'll speed through this one pretty quick. Same thing, right? So don't forget, at this moment we are. Would it let me do that? Yeah. So what we're looking for is this broke out above this range, so we have this line here, and then we zoom into the 15-minute. Let me do this properly. There. Then once again, we're just waiting for it to close below this line and then close back above, right? So let me close this. So we got the close below, and I did get this alert because it was on Sunday. I remember, yeah, I got this alert on Sunday. Then I was watching it, and then oh, so don't forget the box, right? So what we do here, I should have done it earlier, but essentially what we're doing is we got this box here, we got this range, I should call it, so that you know what it actually is. I'm just waiting for it to break out above, right? So this, hold on, so this makes sense. Cool. So this one, it wicked above the box but didn't close, so we're still going to use this box, right? Then the next one, it actually closes above, so what we do is we just draw using this range now. Okay, does that make sense? And then okay, so it didn't close above, which is what we need, but it did close below, right? So we're going to use this box now, and so on and so on, right? Sometimes it can be in a tight range for a while, so I won't draw the box every time, especially if it's just like a tiny little break. But essentially what we're waiting for is for it to break out above this line and above whatever box it's at the moment, right? So okay, and then there it is. So it broke. This was a huge candle, so that's why the risk to reward was pretty terrible. That's why I just did this as like a test, and then stop loss there, and then TP is up here, and then that was like a 1 to 5. Yeah, literally the same. Yeah, 1 to 5, and you know, it did hit TP, but the risk to reward was not good. That's what hit the TP. And then it's funny because it comes, and then actually you would have had another entry here. Actually, this is something I'm not even sure about, because Cramson, once it hits TP, I think any re-entries is invalidated. That's just a guess, just because this is me like kind of testing it live. But look, that's what we're waiting for, right? Okay, breaks. So we're gonna use this box. Okay, doesn't break, and then finally breaks here again, and then there, TP again. Okay, so it hits that one again. Then yeah, so that's pretty interesting, right? It's funny because there's a bunch of entries. Another one literally on this candlestick. There's another one right there. Closes and breaks below it again here. Another entry here, right? But yeah, that's what we saw for today, right? So let me clear all of this and explain what I'm gonna be looking for tomorrow, just so that it's not like a hindsight video. This is what I'm gonna be looking for tomorrow. So what I want to do is I'm gonna clear my charts. So this is today. Technically I should be doing this at the end of the day for me, which is gonna be 10 p.m. But this one I'll check at 10 p.m. That hasn't done anything yet. As well. Okay, I'm gonna have to check later on. So far, from what I'm seeing, this looks like it'll be a good one. So if you're wondering why I put 2, is because don't forget, it's broken this range and it's broken this range, and technically it's broken this range too. So I could have 3. I'm just gonna have these 2 for now. At the end of the day, I'll adjust this. It might just wick and come back above. But this could be a nice continuation short sell for tomorrow if it taps back into the zone and then continues as well. So then what's another one? This is potentially another good one as well here for buys, just because it looks like it's going to close above this zone and this zone. So I'm going to draw 2. And then CF, looks like CS doesn't really have anything. So I'll put these as orange. Orange is going to be the ones on my watch list. So so AUD, USD and USD CAD was today's orange, like ones that I was potentially going to trade. But of course, didn't catch those. So I'll take those off now. So these are the potential ones. And then on the weekly, I like to have another look as well. So, okay, wait, so I like it when the weekly and daily is correlating. So daily is a potential buy, and then weekly we have a potential buy as well. Hold on, am I bugging? I am bugging. No, I'm fine. So that's not weekly. Okay, so we have a potential weekly pay here. Let me go to the 1 hour. Come on. Wait, am I still in replay mode? Get out of replay mode. So remember, I want to get an alert when it closes on the 1 hour, not the 15. So 1 hour, and so weekly and 1 hour are the ones you use for the weekly time zone. Then daily and 15 minutes. So because this is a weekly play, I'll set that alert. Let me see if there's any other weekly. So we got some weekly ones. I already have an alert for this weekly. This one's funny. So I did get the alert for this one, and it didn't end up playing out. So let me show you. And this one I'm not really, because I back tested the weekly method with this, and I haven't had as high of a win rate that I have with daily, right? Because for example, this breaks out above, and then it closes. Technically, your entry would have been here. Stops like there. And then you that would have been a stop loss, and then the second one, which I definitely wouldn't have taken because the risk to reward was pretty bad for this one, is this, and it looks like it's about to stop you out if you had entered that. So with the weekly, I keep it there just to see, but I don't, until I know how to trade it the way I can trade the daily and have a better success with it the way I can with the daily, at least with back testing and forward testing, then I'm just going to stay away from the weekly pays. And then we have a weekly level here too. So that's it for today. The count is still at 70k. Didn't take any trades, but tomorrow we have some potential trades that are forming right now. Take care, and God bless everyone.